फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू इंडियन मैनियक। आज हम जानेंगे एक लीस्ट एक्सप्लोर्ड आइलैंड के बारे में जिसका नाम है नॉर्थ सेंटिनल आइलैंड। कहा जाता है कि इस आइलैंड पर पॉपुलेशन 15 से 400 की है एंड दिस आइलैंड कवर्स द एरिया ऑफ अबाउट 60 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर्स। नॉर्थ सेंटिनल आइलैंड इंडिया की यूनियन टेरिटरी अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड से 50 किलोमीटर्स की दूरी पर है। तो यहाँ जाने का सिर्फ एक ही तरीका है, दैट इज थ्रू अंडमान एंड निकोबार आइलैंड। So this island was first seen in 1771 by a British surveyor John Ritchie. He spotted lights coming out of the island but he simply ignored them. In 1867, an Indian merchant ship Nineveh got stuck into the coral reefs of this island. 86 passengers and 20 crew members had to swim to this island and they stayed there. जब सेंटिनलीज लोगों को लगा कि ये शिप मेंबर्स कुछ ज्यादा ही टाइम आइलैंड पे स्टे कर चुके हैं, they attacked on them on the third day. In 1880, a 19-year-old English aristocrat named Maurice Biddle Portman was appointed in Andaman and Nicobar Island. There he decided to explore the North Sentinel Island, and on his visit to this island he kidnapped an elderly couple and 4 children and brought them to Port Blair. But because these people were not accustomed to the weather condition, the elderly couple died of illness. Watching all this, Widdleman got so frustrated that he gave gifts to these children and he sent them back to North Sentinel Island. But obviously इस experience की वजह से North Sentinel के लोगों में बाहर के लोगों के लिए और ज़्यादा hatred पैदा हो गई. There were multiple expeditions done by Trilok Nath Pandit after the independence of India. One of them was gift dropping expedition done in 1967 in which they dropped gifts like coconut and daily usage things on this island. Then in 1970, India claimed this island and this island came under the control of India. But then also there was no response from Sentinelese. Then in 1974, there was an expedition carried out by the crew members of National Geographic, policemen and anthropologists to shoot a documentary named Man in Search of Man. Crew members came with gifts like coconut, pig pots and they kept it on the beach. This was the first time when the Sentinelese were captured on the camera. But soon after some time, Sentinelese started shooting at these people and they became violent, and in this process one of the crew members got hit by an arrow on his thigh and they all had to flee back to their country. While going back, they saw that Sentinelese kept their gifts but they buried the pig in the sand, showing their violence. But this also shows that they were really unaware of the things that we normally use in our daily life. In 1981, there was a cargo ship named Primrose. It was carrying chicken feed from Bangladesh to Australia and unfortunately it got stuck into the coral surrounding North Sentinel Island. That ship contained 28 crew members and 2 days later they saw around 50 people with bows and arrows pointing at them. But a week later they were rescued by the helicopter, luckily. Interestingly, Primrose still lies off the coast of Sentinel Island and can even be seen from Google Maps. In 1991, there was an expedition from India, but there was something different with this expedition. इस बार टीम में एक औरत भी थी जिसका नाम था मधुमाला चट्टोपाध्याय. Madhumala is an Indian anthropologist who was then research associate with Anthropological Survey of India. This was the first friendly contact that was established with Sentinelese. Madhumala had to pull a lot of strings for coming on this expedition. She had to give this in writing to the government that if something happened to her on this trip, her family cannot claim anything from the government. Although Pandit and his colleagues were able to make repeated friendly contact, dropping coconuts and other gifts to the Sentinelese, no progress was made in understanding the Sentinelese language, and the Sentinelese repeatedly warned them off if they stayed too long. As a result, Indian visits to the island ceased in 1997. 2004 में इंडियन ओशियन में एक बहुत ही खतरनाक सुनामी आई थी, आफ्टर विच इंडियन गवर्नमेंट वाज वेरी कंसर्न्ड अबाउट द सिचुएशन इन नॉर्थ सेंटिनल आइलैंड, सो इट सेंट अ हेलीकॉप्टर टू द आइलैंड टू चेक इफ एवरीथिंग वाज फाइन देयर। जब सेंटिनलीज ने देखा कि उनकी तरफ हेलीकॉप्टर उड़ता हुआ आ रहा है, दे स्टार्टेड शूटिंग एट इट एंड दैट्स हाउ दे केम टू नो दैट एवरीथिंग वाज फाइन ऑन द आइलैंड एंड लाइफ वाज स्टिल देयर। बैन लगने के बाद भी there were 2 fishermen in 2006 who were fishing illegally near the island and they were killed by the Sentinelese. Then in recent events in 2018, there was an American missionary aged 26 years and named John Allen Chow who tried to enter the island. He went there to preach Christianity to the Sentinelese people. He actually bribed the fishermen with 25,000 rupees to reach the shore. But sadly he was killed on the 3rd day by the Sentinelese and his body could not be retrieved. As of today, there is an exclusion zone of 5 kilometers from the island and ships from the Indian Navy patrol it so that no one enters near the island. तो दोस्तों, आपका क्या मानना है? क्या हमें नॉर्थ सेंटिनल के लोगों को उन्हीं के हाल पे छोड़ देना चाहिए या फिर उन्हें हमें अपनी टेक्नोलॉजी और एडवांसमेंट से इंट्रोड्यूस करवाना चाहिए? हमें कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर बताएं। एंड थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग आवर वीडियो। अगर आप ऐसे ही इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियोस देखना चाहते हैं देन प्लीज़ लाइक, शेयर, कमेंट एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल इंडियन मैनियक।